To all our viewers, and welcome back yet again to Abu Dhabi Tolerance Oval, where we're now heading to the knockout stage. We're into the business end of this tournament. What a fantastic tournament we're having so far of UPRO Summer Cup Pro Edition 2026. And we're all set and in readiness for quarter-final number 1, which is going to be played between Dial a Battery Gorilla 11 against Abu Dhabi Smashers. This is going to be raw talent against pure experience. We're expecting to have another thriller in the making. Right then, just a short while ago, I was there in the middle with the two captains and the match referee for the flip of the coin. Well, we're into the knockout stages of this tournament where we're all set for the first quarter-final of UPRO Summer Cup Pro Edition 2026. Two teams who have played some exceptional cricket throughout this tournament will now battle it out to clinch victory in this quarter-final and head to the semi-finals. It's now time to introduce you to the men who matter in the middle. On my left is the captain, Sher Azam, of course, one of the best sides we have in the tournament, Gorilla 11. On his left is Abu Dhabi Smashers, having a smashing tournament, Mr. Kamarata. And on his left is, of course, our esteemed master, Mr. Preetham. Sher Azam, you've got the coin, please give a spin.
Head is the call. His heads.
Congratulations, Sher Azam. Very important toss to win. What's the plan?
We're going to have a bat first today.
You had a decent tournament. You started off with a bang, but then a close game as well, a loss. But I'm sure you would have taken a lot of experience and learning from that game.
100%. As a team, we're, as I said before, relatively new. So every game is just, we look back, we take the positives as a win, we try to improve on the negatives, and we're geared up for today and ready to go.
How excited are the boys for this quarterfinals? Because you're playing against one of the top quality sides in this tournament who are unbeaten yet.
We're planning on handing them their first loss. Boys are static right now. The dressing room is buzzing, and hopefully Gorillas come out victorious today.
Any changes playing 11 Sher?
Yeah, we've got Sumer Zaveri coming in, and that's about it.
Well, best of luck, Sher. Give us a good game.
Thank you.
कामी टॉस हार गए, जीत जाते तो क्या मूड था आपका?
हम लोगों का यही प्लान था कि हम लोग पहले बॉलिंग ही करेंगे, क्योंकि थ्रू द टूर्नामेंट हम लोग टॉस जीत के पहले बॉलिंग ही कर रहे हैं।
आफ्टरनून गेम है, बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, क्या लगता है कितना रिस्ट्रिक्ट करेंगे तो ठीक रहेगा?
क्योंकि आपको पता है बॉल आज चेंज है, तो आज स्विंग भी बॉल होगा बॉलर के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा, और हवा भी चल रही है, तो कोशिश करेंगे इनको 130 तक आउट करें, क्योंकि हमारी बॉलिंग लाइन बहुत अच्छी है।
इमरान, आप वो टीम हो जो कोई मैच नहीं हारी इस टूर्नामेंट, लेकिन आप इनको इजी नहीं ले सकते मेरे ख्याल से, क्योंकि ये टीम भी बहुत अच्छा खेल रही है।
नहीं, किसी भी टीम को इजी नहीं लेंगे, क्योंकि ये क्वार्टर फाइनल गेम है, इसमें जो भी लूज़ करेगा वो टूर्नामेंट से बाहर हो जाएगा। तो इंशाल्लाह हमारे लड़के कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, और इंशाल्लाह हम कोशिश करेंगे अच्छी से अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलें।
कोई चेंजेस?
हाँ, 2 चेंजिंग हैं, फारूक इन है और यायन इन है।
बेस्ट ऑफ लक, गिव अस अ गुड गेम।
थैंक यू।
Well, that's the news, and the confirmation from the center is that Gorilla 11, they won the toss and they've decided to bat first. But there you go. I think it's a good toss to win. Sher Azam winning the toss, wants to bat first on this wicket, where I believe it's a good wicket to put some runs on the board and then put pressure on Abu Dhabi Smashers. Now, talking about these two teams, I think starting off with Dial Battery Gorilla 11, they have been mighty impressive so far in this tournament, led by Sher Azam. Hashmi, of course, comes in and bowls exceptionally well with the new ball, gets his teams in those important breakthroughs. Then we have the right-arm wrist spinner Abbas Dawar. He's having a great run as well. Hasn't picked up a lot of wickets, but he's been very economical. Aditya Shetty, who can forget his heroics in one of the games against King of Sultans, where he went on to score 115 in just 58 deliveries with 8 sixes to his name. Ishana, another talented bowler. Hasnain Hassan. Now, he's somebody I've been consistently talking about. This man shows a lot of promise and is an excellent prospect for the future. Prithvi Rao as well. Raiz Nadir, all-round performer so far. Thomas Madison got off to good starts early on. Yahya Ali, well, that man was a hero in the first game. He was the one responsible to take his team over the line. And then you have a new addition, Sumer Zaveri gets a game in this all-important quarterfinal. And talking about Abu Dhabi Smashers, well, they're having a smashing tournament. They've not lost a single game. Ghulam Murtaza, Kamran Atai led his team so well. Mohammad Nadeem is clinched the player of the match in the last game. Umaid Zia Mukhtar gets you those top wickets early on. Wasim Anwar, well, that man is having a very good run with the ball, with the bat. Gun fielder. Good to see Yayan Kinrai missed out in the last game. He makes a way back into the playing 11 in this all-important quarterfinal. Then you have, of course, Zain Butt. We already saw what this man did in the last game. Unfortunately, was injured. And then good to see Mohammad Farooq Moment is back. The hero against 7 districts, scored 20 runs in the last over and clinched victory. Anil Parekar and Danish Qureshi as well is back into the playing 11. So they've strengthened their bowling attack by adding Danish. Zia, of course, we already know he's having a great run. So they're having 3 fast bowlers, Umaid, Zia alongside Danish Qureshi. And I won't be surprised if I will see Danish Qureshi to start off proceedings. Usually we see Zia Mukhtar starting off proceedings with the new ball. But then again, if you have somebody like Danish Qureshi, well, he really moves the ball extremely well. I heard the wicket was watered overnight, so we do expect a bit of movement early on with the new ball. It's going to be interesting. A lot will be dependent on Aditya Shetty, the centurion in this tournament. But this is going to be a very exciting little contest between, I just said, raw talent of Dialer Battery Gorilla 11 against one of the most experienced sides we have here in this region, Abu Dhabi. These players play a lot of cricket here in this part, and of course they are pretty much used to this ground as well. This is their home ground. Play says the umpire. Quarterfinal number 1 is underway. Straight away it's Apesh, and this is a disastrous start. Danish Qureshi has been included in the quarterfinal and he's picked up a huge scalp on the very first delivery. The idea was right. It was full, but no control by Aditya Shetty. There was a short cover placed. And it's an easy catch. What a start for Abu Dhabi Smashers. They've already picked up Aditya Shetty. And this is a big blow. It's 0 for 1. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start, can you? Picking up a wicket and that too in a knockout game. And Danish Qureshi straight away, he's made an impact on the very first ball, getting the most important wicket of Dialer Battery Gorilla 11. The man who scored a century a few days ago is now back into the hutch early. This is high up in the air. And that is a very positive start. It's already a couple of entertaining deliveries, a wicket going, and now he's straight away going after Danish Qureshi. Sumer Zaveri hasn't really played many games in this tournament, but he surely made his intentions pretty clear early on. On the very first ball, he's decided to take Danish Qureshi on. Well, let's see if this pays off. You need to be careful. Danish Qureshi is very experienced. He's been here in the domestic circuit for quite a few years. He brings the ball in as well, surprises the batters at times. It's high up in the air once again. I think he's got a better connection. It's one bounce into the fence. Well, this is a really positive start here for Sumer Zaveri. And Danish Qureshi ever so slightly missing his line and the length. It was in the slot, and Sumer Zaveri taking full opportunity and gets a boundary to his name. So the first boundary comes in for Gorilla 11. Of course, it's an afternoon game. It's a super Saturday here in Abu Dhabi. Back-to-back games, 2 quarterfinals. The first one is underway, and this is already promising to be an exciting game of cricket. They made a change in the field now. The third man comes in and they've pushed back the point fielder. Oh, that's punished. What a strike by Sumer Zaveri. And Danish Qureshi, he's been pumped for a boundary. Yeah, this is pure power. You can see he read the length way too early. It just seemed like he had all the time in the world to really adjust himself. And that was a terrific shot. So back-to-back boundaries. He's putting a bit of pressure on Danish Qureshi after he's picked up a wicket on the very first ball. Sumer Zaveri, he is not in any kind of pressure, it seems. Oh, that's a fine shot once again. It screamed away towards the boundary. This is a terrific start for Sumer Zaveri, and what a start to this first quarter-final. 3 boundaries on the trot, and that is such a spectacular stroke by Sumer Zaveri. The control he's possessed is simply admirable. Very entertaining start to this game. A wicket, and then Sumer Zaveri, usually when the number 3 batter comes in, he needs a bit of time because he's just walked in the middle. He knows that there's a wicket fallen, and that too very early in the very first over on the very first ball. So you're always at the back foot because there are those early nerves. You are in some kind of pressure. You have those butterflies in your stomach. But Sumer Zaveri, the intent he's shown already, he's come out all guns blazing and targeting Danish Qureshi. Again, but this time it's gone towards the fielder. Nonetheless, this is a tremendous start to this contest. It's 15 for 1. Thomas Madison, he's somebody who gets his team off to good starts. He gets those quick runs for his team, but hasn't really got going in this tournament so far. He's off strike at the moment as Sumer took a single in the last delivery. That's going to be Zia Mukhtar to share the new ball. Nicely tucked away. The call is for 2. I think they should come back easily. Very smart approach by Sumer Zaveri. And all the deliveries where he's able to find the boundaries, you can see that it wasn't the best of balls by Danish Qureshi. So he's somebody who is looking to respect the good deliveries. But if ever so, it's in his zone. If it's in his slot, we already have seen Sumer Zaveri has been severe in the very first over. Already 3 boundaries to his name. That's not the best of deliveries. It was meant to go towards the boundary. It was drifting down the leg side. And all he had to do is just get some bat on it. He's off to a flyer, Sumer Zaveri. Yeah, poor delivery. I think just because Sumer Zaveri, he did shuffle quite a bit. It just put a doubt in the mind of Zia Mukhtar, and he wanted to go right onto the middle stump, but missing his line completely. So he's busy at the crease at the same time. Sumer Zaveri. I personally haven't really seen much of this young boy, but so far, I mean, whoever is watching this game, whoever understands cricket, even 50% will know that this man, he's got some serious potential. All the strikes which he struck so far, they've been proper cricketing strokes. Oh my word, where has this gone? Sumer Zaveri, He's toying around with the bowlers, and this man is on fire this afternoon. He's getting a lot of applause from his teammates, and why not? He struck this hard and whack he goes. Look at the flurry of the bat. He's got really fast hands, Sumer Zawari. And the way he approaches the ball, it just gives an indication that he's having ample time with him. Such a God-gifted cricketer, reads the trajectory and the length so early, so already worrying signs for Abu Dhabi Smashers. The two teams who are unbeaten in this tournament, of course, Abu Dhabi Smashers and GHK Properties. This is one team now, they're playing their first quarterfinal, and already they're now put under the pump because Sumer Zawari, he's in that kind of a mood this afternoon. Yeah, trying to take some pace off, but then again, this is what happens when the opening batters, the top order batters, they go after you. They spoil your length, they spoil your line completely. And just because he's been expensive in this over, he's now being forced to really change his lens, ball in the different channels. So Zihan Mukhtar, one of their premier bowlers, he's been put under the pump way too early in this contest. That's been pulled away once again. This is going to be a long chase, but these two are lightning quick between the stumps. Thomas Maridison, he's been a mere spectator on the non-strikers and he's not faced a single delivery. But I'm sure he's enjoying. He must be loving it, watching his teammate put up a show in the all-important quarterfinal. And that is exactly what you needed. You need your gun players to fire. It's a T20 format. It's a shorter format. You just need a couple of players to fire on that given day, and you can upset any side. And they already have beaten one of the mighty sides in this tournament. They've beaten Dubai Royals. Who can forget that game? He's struggling at the moment. Ziya Mukhtar, he's been all over the place. It's not that he's bowling wides in one channel, one area. He's been bowling wides in both the directions. I'm not too sure with that kind of a delivery as well, because there's no protection towards the offside. So even though if it was within the tram line, I think Sumer would have just slashed him towards the offside, because he's having a deep third man, which is quite straightish, and then he has a deep mid wicket. So I'm not too sure with that kind of strategy against Sumer Zawari. This is pulled, and it's gone into the outer space maximum. It's absolute carnage here in the Tolerance Oval Abu Dhabi, and Sumer Zawari, he switched on to his beast mode. Look at them go. Well, these young men, they will believe that they have a serious chance to put up a big total, because if ever so they continue this onslaught, we could be in for a huge total being set by Dialer Battery Gorilla 11. I can promise you that there will be a few nerves now out there, because this team has not been tested yet in this tournament. They've been unbeaten, and after a long time I'm seeing a side, and I'm not surprised really. I mean, I always had confidence in this young team of Gorilla 11, and look at what they have done. 22 runs have been looted already in this over, and there's still one ball to go. Apesh, oh, very close to the cover fielder, but then again, fortune favoring the brave. Another very expensive over comes to the end. It's 38 for 1. Well, they've realized that pace wasn't working in their favor because Sumer Zaveri is been severe against both the bowlers. Danish Qureshi, of course, he started off extremely well by picking up a wicket off the Centurion Aditya Shetty. Team Anwar was, of course, the player of the match in the last game. Nicely done, and finally, Thomas Mariadison, beg your pardon, gets a strike for the very first time. So he's having a long on position. So he had a long off for Sumer. Now he's pulled him in and he's pushed his mid on back, and alongside he's gotten a deep square leg. And this is where Abu Dhabi Smashers can be a little smart in their approach. Now what they need to do, they need to ensure they try to keep Sumer off strike. Try to get a few dot deliveries against Thomas Mariadison. You would want to get Sumer a little agitated. And how do you do that? You need to ensure he's off strike. Yeah, just like that. On the other end, the role is very simple for Thomas. Anything fuller, he just needs to push it towards the leg side or onside because there is a huge gap. There's huge big pockets towards the leg side. He can just nudge it around and take a single. Yeah, the idea was right, but they do have a short mid as well. So this is what exactly they're looking for. They're trying not to get Sumer Zaveri back on strike. That will put pressure on both of them. In fact, he's now allowed him to come on strike. It's been given as a leg bye. But yeah, he had a terrific outing last games. Wasim Anwar was the player of the match. Was very handy with the ball, very economical. Then scored some valuable runs too. So this man, of course, he is in sublime touch as well. It's going to be good little contest between Wasim and Sumer. Yeah, you can see every time there's a good delivery ball against Sumer, he's not trying to force the issue. He knows that they have the runs on the board, so he's somebody who won't really throw his wicket. That's pretty much clear. He knows how important his wicket is going to be. If ever so, they would want to achieve somewhere around 180, 190. Oh, what a shot this is. This is incredible striking by Sumer Zaveri. And I wish if ever so we can have a highlights package of what he's done this afternoon against a quality bowling lineup. Now, this is one of the most toughest shots to execute in the book of cricket. But Sumer, he's making it look so easy in the centre. It's 47 for 1. We're into the fourth over of this game, and we're seeing the fourth change already. We saw Danish bowl 1 over, Zia just bowled 1 over because he was very expensive, and then the last over as well, there were plenty of runs being piled up. It's going to be Umaid for the very first time. Beautifully played. Thomas, his role becomes really simple from here onwards. All he has to do now is just play the role of a second fiddle. He doesn't need to do anything silly out there. He needs to feed the strike to Sumer Zaveri, because when you know that your partner is kind of a mood and he's in that kind of a mood, you wouldn't want him to lose the momentum. So ensure you try to just not play a lot of dot deliveries and get him back on strike as soon as possible. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. It did swing just a little bit, and that was enough to pass through the gates of Thomas Maridison. And they have lost their second wicket. Yeah, you can see that he didn't try to go after Umaid. It was just he got a little unlucky inside edge, and it has chopped back onto the stump. So they lose their second. Short stay for Thomas. It's 47 for 2. So the fourth bowling chain has worked in their favour. We're just in the fourth over, and imagine that we are already seeing a fourth bowler into equation in this innings. That itself is an indication that that's a beautiful stroke once again. What a start for Amar Badami. He's just walked in the middle. It just looks like that he's been he just came out from a net session and straight into the ground, because that was struck beautifully. It came right up the middle of his bat. Proper cricketing cover drive, high elbow, not overstriding, always in control, excellent balance. Yeah, he's somebody who's technically very correct, isn't he, Amar Badami? I've been seeing this young boy for quite a while now, and more often than not, we have seen him getting those important runs every time his team requires him to go and perform. Another lovely stroke, but this time he doesn't really have all that timing on it, but will get a couple of more runs. What a terrific knock are we witnessing by Sumer Zaveri. He's just 7 runs shy to get to his half century, and that too the all-important knockout game. It's a quarter-final, of course. We're into the business end of this tournament. Already we've seen quite a few exciting contests in the group stages, but no more errors, no more hiccups. Wow! What a hit by Amar Badami. This is terrific stuff. And these two are unstoppable at the moment. That's a brilliant stroke yet again. It's just like they've come out with an intent in the power play. We're just going to go all out. We're going to blast the bowlers. And in doing so, so far, they have found success. They're not allowing any bowler to settle in. It just shows that they have approach in this game. Hits it hard, but straight to Zia Mukhtar. What an exciting over yet again comes to the end. It's 59 for 2. So runs are coming from both the ends. Very smart and very sensible in his approach. Sumer Zaveri, he knows that after they've gotten off to such a flyer, 60 already, and we're just in the fifth over, start of the fifth over rather. Amar Badami, of course, he's due in this tournament, but this just could be his afternoon. Of course, it is a big game, and he's a big match player, Amar Badami. Having a long off-in position alongside a deep mid-wicket, so he needs to ensure he doesn't bowl anything short towards the offside, because Amar, he's one of the strongest cutters. So you want to ensure you keep your length in check. And I just mentioned you cannot bowl short and wide to Amar Badami, and that's exactly what he's done. He's by far one of the strongest cutters, and there you go. It's a clear indication, and that is an exquisite timing. And look at how quickly that's raced away towards the boundary. So what a start here for Gorilla 11. This is one team who won't just dive wondering and won't put up a fight. They're one team who'll just ensure they keep coming hard at you. That's what we've seen so far throughout the tournament. Well, this is high up in the air. It hasn't gone too far. Oh, he should consider himself lucky. You can see Amar Badami, he is absolutely livid with himself, because that wasn't the best of shot selections. When you know you have a long off in position, you need to have a proper connection, and by no means he connected this one. Wasim Anwar on the other end, he's doing a decent job compared to the other bowlers. Yes, they have picked up wickets, of course, Umaid and Danish, but they've been expensive at the same time. Well, he's really manufactured a shot out of nowhere. I mean, it wasn't all that a bad delivery. You can see he's converted this good one into a bad delivery. Yeah, by just creating room and knowing that there was nobody patrolling towards the deep cover region. So that was always going to be a shot. It was always going to be a safe shot to opt. 69 for 2 after 5. Well, they're off to a flying start, aren't they? 69. Yes, they have lost 2 wickets, but Aditya Shetty, now that was a huge wicket they got early on. Thomas, he couldn't really get going in this crunch encounter. But the good news is, the majority of the runs out of the 71 have come from Sumer and Amar Badami's bat. And both of them, they're out there in the center. Plus, they have quite a few batters left in the tank. So, after this start, now they should ensure they don't throw away the wickets. What a shot once again. Well, these two are unstoppable at the moment, and Umaid, yet again, not finding his right length, way too full. And Amar said, thank you very much. But wasn't the most convincing of strokes, but he's going to grab it with both hands, gets a boundary. And there you go. That itself gives an indication there is a strong breeze. Of course, our proud flag of UAE is fluttering high. So that is one good indication that there is a strong breeze. which should help the players. Of course, it's extremely hot and humid. Oh, they're asking the question. It's a dot. So far, the power play has gone into the favor of Gorilla 11. Oh, that's a monstrous hit. Take that. 6 runs. These two are unstoppable at the moment. And where do you ball them? You ball them short, they pull you towards mid-wicket. You ball them full and they go hard downtown. This is an absolute treat to watch, and I think maybe now this is the highest score we have in the power play. We need to ask our analyst, our statistician, but 681 and 5.4, that's a very high score already. And now you can see some worrying faces already in the dugout of Abu Dhabi Smashers. Of course, one of the favorites in this tournament, but I kept on saying you cannot discard Gorilla 11. They're one team who can surprise any team on their given day because they've got some raw talent in this side, and they've come out with a very fearless and courageous approach in this tournament. I mean, they're one team that they've not come out with an intent that, you know what, we need to win each and every single game and just put that extra pressure on themselves. They're young, they're still learning, they're rubbing shoulders against one of the best sides here in this tournament. Of course, GHK Properties, you have Dubai Royals, you have 7 districts. So these teams, they have UAE capped international cricketers, ex-UAE national cricketers. So it's a learning experience for these young guns. But the intent which they've shown, they've really come out with an intent that they will put up a fight, and so far they have found success in this tournament. This has been punched down the ground with some severe power by Sumer Zaveri. Gets to his 15 style. What a fine knock this has been. He can now raise his bat with a lot of pride. This is straight as an arrow. Take that. What a brilliant power play for Gorilla 11 comes to the end. It's 86 for 2. Well, if ever so you would want anybody to bowl at this stage, it has to be the experience of Mohammad Farooq Momin, another UAE capped cricketer. He's of course been busy with the UAE camp lately as well, so might be selected as well for the next upcoming tournaments for the UAE national team. But this man, he's having a great tournament so far with the ball, with the bat. And you need somebody experienced now. Farooq Momin has created an opportunity and has straight away grabbed a wicket. It's a brain fade. All you had to do is just be smart in your approach. Wasn't the best of shots by Sumer. He would be livid with himself because that was a good delivery, and all they had to do is just see off his overs, ensure you maybe just get one boundary and then take the singles and doubles. But yeah, that is one man. He's made a big difference in the all-important quarterfinal. It's a slow, dejected walk, but then again, he should be proud as to what he's done. It's 87 for 3. This is a really good change. You don't want to be holding back Farooq Bowman for too long, and especially when you know that the batters are going really hard against all the bowlers so far. We saw an expensive start by Danish Qureshi, and then even Zia Mukhtar, it was a struggle for him. And then Wasim Anwar, he did a decent job. Umaid coming in and of course picking up an important wicket. But then again, he too was slightly expensive. You can see the score, 88 runs already. Oh, he's asking the question. They heard something, not so the umpire. You don't want to be losing both the set batters. It did keep slightly low, and there's a bit of turn as well, which we haven't seen all that much in this tournament. But this is now a great opportunity. If ever so they can knock Amar Badami out, then even I think 180 will be quite far to achieve. Beautifully ball. He's bowling an excellent over. In fact, he's done with the over and he's been very economical. Only 3 and also picked up the most important wicket of this innings. It's 89 for 3. Yeah, now this is going to be a very interesting passage of play, because we saw in the last game when the 3 spinners were bowling, Farman, Nadeem and Wasim, that was the stage where we saw that they picked up a lot of wickets and they bundled out the opponents for a very low total. So this is going to be a test for the batters. Ishan Nair, who's just made his way in the center, should ensure he stays out there in the center, knowing that they've gotten so many runs already. Ishan shouldn't take any kind of pressure. All he needs to do is just stay in the middle for at least another 7 to 8 overs. Amar Badami, you can see that he's already looking to be aggressive. So Ishan Nair, his role is now simple. That's what he needs to do. He needs to focus on the singles. Yeah, if ever so they didn't have any runs on the board, then there would have been immense pressure on the 2 batters, because they know it's a really good wicket to bat on. They know they're playing against the unbeaten side in this tournament, so that's where they had to put the pedal on the accelerator. Amar Badami is enjoying his outing out there, and he's made this ball disappear in the car park. That's a fabulous strike yet again. He's gone down on one knee. He's clobbered this for another maximum to his name. It's gone a long, long way. Somebody needs to really look for the ball. What a hit that was. Very smart wicket, sensible. He's already gotten a maximum and then rotating strike. So even if they just keep on batting the way they're batting at the moment, be sensible in their approach, they should be able to get 190, even 200, because they've got firepower in their batting. Of course, they have the likes of Yahya Ali yet to come. So it's going to be very interesting as to how these 2 construct and build their innings. Amar Badami, we can see that he is in that kind of a mood that if ever so you bowl it in his zone, he's not holding back. He's taking on all the bowlers. And he's been very very destructive so far in this innings. End of over number 8, it's 99 for 3. The man who's already made a difference and a huge impact, picking up one of the most important wickets. Oh, was that put down? And the reaction of Farooq Momin, he thinks that there was slightest of edges. He's one man who really makes a huge difference every time he's been included into the playing 11. Of course, missed out in the last game. But here he is again. He's bowling exceptionally well. You can see that he is getting turn on offer, and that's all because he's allowing the ball to turn by flighting the ball, giving a lot of air, which hasn't been the case so far in this tournament. Most of the spinners, they've been bowling way too quick. This is perfect. 100 comes up, and it's come in at a very good time. Just into the 9th over. Yes, they have lost 3 of their important batters, so it's going to be such an important passage of play, especially for Amar Badami, because he's now well set. And one good thing, I think they wouldn't mind the men in black, who are Abu Dhabi Smashers. They wouldn't mind the way he's approaching, because he's looking to play aerial. So that itself is an indication that he will give you a chance sooner or later. They wouldn't want him to stay out there and keep nudging. That's going to frustrate them. They would want him to go for a big shot. Oh, what a top class delivery. And I think this was literally an unplayable delivery. He's disguised him with a lovely flight to delivery and drawing him forward, and then the ball just turning. That is an absolute dream delivery for any right arm spinner in the world. And Mohammad Farooq Momin has produced magic in the centre. That is why he's such a special bowler. He's dismissed the set batter Amar. It's 100 for 4. Well, that was by far the ball of the tournament by Mohammad Farooq Momin. It was such a beautiful delivery. Really, he couldn't have done much. Deceived him by a lovely flight and also a bit of turn and offer. And now he's opting to have a slip in position. Excellent over yet again by Farooq Momin. It's 100 for 4. it was their spinners, even in the last game, who brought them back into the game, and even in this all-important quarter-final. It is the two left-arm spinners, Wasim, Nadeem, and then, of course, Mohammad Farooq Momin, who's gotten two of the most important wickets of Gorilla 11, two set batters who were a serious threat to Abu Dhabi Smashers. I mean, they were off to a flyer. Look at the score. It's a really good score that they've put on. It's just the wickets column which is going to bother Gorilla 11. Here's another in Ishan Nair. They'll have to rebuild this innings. And also the good news now for Abu Dhabi Smashers is that Razel and Ishan, they're two batters who like to take time in the middle. They will take a few deliveries to get settled in, adapt to the surface, and then they will look to go big. The question remains to be asked as to when does our local Andre Russell comes in next. He could make a huge impact. I think it's way too early to send him. Maybe the last 6 to 7 overs could be ideal for Yahya Ali, but this is that stage of the game where you need to rebuild the innings, construct and form a partnership. Razel and Ishan, of course, we know these two are exceptionally talented right-handed batters, technically very sound and correct. But the start which they had gotten, I'm sure there would have been some nerves for Abu Dhabi Smashers. But I think now they would be feeling a bit better, sigh of relief for them, because they have gotten those two batters who were looking in ominous touch. Excellent over yet again, no boundaries in the 10th over. It's 105 for 4. It's high up in the air, but I think it's fallen in the vacant area. So it's quite a surprising shot, to be honest. They know that they've just lost 2 wickets, and Ishan Nair trying to blast somebody who's bowling so well at the moment. He's not really giving any kind of freebies, so I'm not too sure with the ploy. If you want to target somebody like Farooq Momin when he's on song, you would always want to just see off his last 2 overs. Look at his economy. He's given only 6 runs, and that's all because he is bowling in those excellent channels, those teasing, nagging lengths with a lot of flight on offer. He is getting quite a bit of turn as well in his favor. Oh, that's another good delivery. Good stop. Excellent bit of fielding. It's Zen, but we will see him in action soon in the second innings. He was exceptional in the first innings, of course, with the bat in the last game. But you can see now there's a bit of a rather sense of urgency coming in from Ishan Nair. Razel Nadir just needs to speak to him, have a word with him, and ask him to calm down a little bit. You can target those fast bowlers who weren't having the best of outings so far. Yeah, that's much better. Even though it's a dot ball, be it, because you have runs on the board. Look at your net run rate. It's almost 10 runs per over. So that's not a problem. You can always get quick 50, 40, 50 runs in the last 4-5 overs. But nicely done. That's a very good stroke. So this is that stage of the game where you need to be smart in your approach and ensure you stay out there, value your wicket. You don't want to be running into the tail very early in the innings. It's 108 for 4. spinners have made a serious impact. They've gotten a lot of wickets, and you can see that the boundaries have dried up at one stage. The way Amar Badami was batting, it just looked like we are going to be in for a big total. They could still get it though, because they do have runs on the board. All they have to do is just ensure they get 7-8, 7-8 for the next 5 overs, and then go hard. Because if they try to go big at this juncture of the game, you're going to be taking a lot of risk, and you can't really take risks at this stage. It's a big game. You lose, you snooze, you're out of the tournament. It's a quarter-final. So try to play out all the 20 overs. Well, this is up in the air and very close to Zia Mukhtar. Nadeem thinks that he could have done much better. Yeah, he wasn't really happy with Zia Mukhtar with that effort. So I think clear signs that Ishan has been maybe given the license by his think tank in the dugout to go hard against the spinners. And Razel maybe is asked to just stay out there and steady the ship, go on to bat all the next overs. But honestly, for me, they just need to wait for the loose deliveries and not force the issue. You don't want to be losing any of the batters because there's so many overs to go. And all they have to do is be smart. Now that could have been very close if ever so. Nadeem would have hit directly onto the stumps. So slight bit of pressure also mounting on Gorilla 11, because we haven't seen a boundary for quite a few overs now. That's a big shot, but there is protection. It will only be a single to close out over number 12. It's 113 for 4. It's the last over for Farooq Momin. Now these two batters, they need to be sensible against him. Now this is really poor cricket. I mean, I've been praising these youngsters time and time again, but you really need to have some game awareness. This wasn't required. Why are they trying to go against Farooq Momin? Look at his figures. You can just see him off. Rather, yeah, he's trying to blast him down the ground. And it's throwing away your wicket. You're putting your team under more pressure. It's a brain fade from the youngster. It's 113 for 5. It's a hot and humid afternoon in Abu Dhabi. And this man is on fire. Mohammad Farooq Momin, of course, was busy with the UAE camp in the previous game, missed out, but here he is. He's back and he's providing his services in this all-important quarter-final. Yeah, and that is what you expect from these international cricketers, of course. He's somebody who's gotten Abhishek Sharma out as well in a match which was played against India A. So, yeah, that capable a bowler he is Mohammad Farooq Momin. But the last wicket, I think Ishan Nair should have been a little more sensible in his approach. Just see off his over. Even if you give 2-3 runs, that's okay. because you have got another 7 more overs, and the fast bowlers see that they were not up to the mark. So they could have targeted somebody, but not this man. Yeah, that's much better. Nadri's been sensible. He knows the situation of the game. But that wasn't the right approach and the right time to lose a wicket. So not much batting left. I think Yahya Ali will be coming in next. And he will be going all guns blazing, surely. Oh, that one kept extremely low. The one which goes the other way now. Just the last 2 deliveries, Prithvi Rao is walked in the middle. So we might expect Mohammad Farooq to give a bit more air, really entice him to go for a big shot. Yeah, he's such a clever operator. That's exactly what he's done. He knows that it's that kind of a stage where the batter won't go after him. So he's literally bowling intentionally in his zone and asking to go for a big hit. Excellent delivery. Well, what a fantastic spell yet again from Farooq Mohammad. Have you witnessed? It was an absolute treat to watch him. It's 115 for 5. Nadeem too will be bowling out his 4 over quota. He's been economical. Hasn't gone on to pick up wickets so far. Dealing in singles at the moment. Can't recall when was the last boundary being scored now. This is where their temperament was tested. Of course, after the top order batters, they gave such a good start. The middle order batters, their job was very simple and easy. All they had to do is just ensure they pick up the singles and doubles. What happened is they were trying to be a little more aggressive against Farooq Momin, and they gave quite a few wickets to him. So now again they're at the back for Gorilla 11. He's been knocked over. That wasn't the best of shot selections because that ball wasn't all that short. It was full, it was straight with pace on, and he got himself into a very ugly position. He's been knocked over. Excellent bowling by Nadeem. Gets his first wicket. It's 116 for 6. Well, this has been a brilliant comeback for Abu Dhabi Smashers. Of course, it was a great start for the Battery Gorilla 11, but just losing the plot, just losing focus and patience. Couldn't really carry on the momentum which was set by, of course, the top order batters. And now they're finding themselves in a bit of trouble. Well, here he is, Yahya Ali. That is one man who really stole the limelight in the very first game of their tournament against Dubai Royals. Went on to beat them, of course. But now I think the problem is that he's got a lot of overs. You would want Yahya Ali to come when there's only 4 overs remaining, but let's see how he goes about his batting, because he's somebody who really believes to go hard against the bowlers, and he's more often than not found a lot of success. They were 87 for 2 at one stage. They're now finding themselves at 117 for 6. So nobody really took the responsibility. That's a thick outside edge, and this might just be a boundary, which we haven't seen for quite a while. No, in fact, the ball doesn't have enough legs. Another couple of more runs. That's the end of another exceptional performance by Mohammad Nadeem. It's 119 for 6. Right, this is interesting. Haven't seen this man with the ball, of course. He is a fine talent with the bat. One of the consistent performers we have here in the domestic circuit. But that is a very surprising decision. And straight away he's right on the money. That's a good start. Perfect length. Hint of turn as well. Yeah, he's somebody who can come in these kind of situations and get you those important breakthroughs. He too was rested in the last game, but of course now it's an important game. It's a knockout game, so you would need Yayin, you would need Danish, you need Farooq Momin. All of them are back for this important contest. Of course, it was such a great start for Gorilla 11, and the way they started, we assume that they're surely going to achieve somewhere around 190. It was Sumer Zawari, the number 3 batter, beg your pardon. Nicely played, but still cannot find the boundary. So it seems like Yahya Ali, he's played a few deliveries and he's decided now it's high time I go after the bowlers. That's my actual natural gameplay and I should be backing it. So yeah, both the openers went out for a duck. Aditya Shetty, of course, a golden duck. Then Thomas as well couldn't contribute, went out for a duck. And then the 2 batters, Sumer and Amar Badami, really turned on the heat. But nobody really supported them on the other end. Also, the way Sumer Zawari got out, I'm not too sure if that was required, the shot which he offered. And as we speak, Yayin Kiran Rai has overstepped. That's a very rare sight. We don't really see spinners overstepping, and I think he's made an error. So Reza Nadir will have the privilege to swing his bat hard, but no real timing. He's not a power hitter by no means, Reza Nadir. He's somebody who will construct the innings, look to bat out all the overs, will hold one end. He's a proper, technically correct cricketer. Tailor-made for a 50-over game, surely, Reza Nadir. But this is turning out to be an excellent over by Yayin Kiran Rai. So Kamran Atta, the captain, he's switched on and he's blessed with a lot of spin options in this contest. I think we might just see Umaid maybe coming in the next over, or even Wasim. He's got a couple of overs. So yeah, I think it should be Wasim, and maybe Yayin will continue with him because he's bowled such an economical over. And he's picked up a wicket. Oh, what have you done? Now, what is the excuse of dropping this catch? I mean, that was a dolly. He could have closed one eye and taken it. I think he just took it way too easy. And he's dropped a dolly. It's 1, 2, 3 for 6. Yeah, as predicted, it had to be Wasim Anwar because the spinners, they've done a fine job so far. Yahya Ali, can he do a repeat as to what he did against Dubai Royals? His services are surely required. 162 is a projected score, and that's not going to be enough against Dubai Smashers, I can assure you. I mean, the batting depth they have on this kind of a track, it's going to be very difficult now. He's trying his level best, Yahya Ali, to go after the bowlers, but we need to give a lot of credit to the spinners. They've been so accurate this evening. They knew that there is some turn on offer, and they've taken all the advantage out of this wicket to their use, and that's a big shot. It's not gone too far. Could be a catch. Oh, he's put it down. We've already seen quite a few catches being put down. But again, that was an easy chance. All you had to do is just run forward towards the ball. He did the hard part. Got two hands onto it and then just couldn't hold on to it. So, Brazil gets alive. I think they have now the license to go hard in these last 5 overs. Wasim Anwar yet again has been exceptional. We'll see him with the bat in the next innings as well. He's been coming top of the order and has been getting a lot of runs lately. Should be a couple of more runs, but running between the two. Very tight bowling so far by the spinners. Can't recall when was the last boundary struck. It's going to be only a single to close out another fine over by Wasim Anwar. It's 129 for 6. Well, just because Yakin Rai has impressed his captain in the first over by bowling an economical over, he's been given another go. That's a big shot, and I think he's gotten a lot of bat. In fact, yes, he has. Yeah, for a moment, I thought the fielder was in for a chance to take that, but that's a good start to the over. So, trying his luck, Amran Atta, giving a part. And this is where now Razel and Yahya need to grab this opportunity. So they should look to go hard on every delivery in this over. Poor delivery. It's going towards the boundary. It's a long chase. And the fielder gives it up. So yeah, the plan is not working at the moment to continue with Yahya. This is a great start to the over. And now they should believe they can get somewhere around 180, 185 because Razel is well set and we know what Yahya is capable of. And Yayin is under the pump at the moment. Struck down. but hasn't really timed it, but should come back for another couple of runs. Yeah, this is a very useful over so far. He's getting a lot of applause from his dugout, Razel Nader. And he's somebody who's been consistently scoring runs in each and every single game in this tournament. And he's been so effective also with the new ball when he'll come out to bowl. That's much better, just trying to bowl it away from the arc of Razel Nader. Anything fuller we've seen, he's been severe against Yayin. Now these are two big deliveries, and Yahya should surely look to go big and try to make this and convert this into a massive over. Oh, some improvisation. If ever so he would have stood his ground, I think he could have clobbered this easily towards the deep mid wicket. So it was a premeditated stroke. Don't really think that was required against Yayin Kiran. He's not somebody who's bowling in those precise lanes. Could have really stood his ground and smashed it towards the leg side. This is hit hard, it's in the gap. Good bit of fielding by Zia Mukhtar. Will be the end of the over and a useful one for Gorilla 11. It's 144 for 6. The stage is now set for both the batters. Razel, of course, it's a really good start for him. He did start off slowly, and I think that was the demand of the situation where he was batting. He was losing partners on the other end. So he had to hold one end, which he did eventually. And now has shifted gears in the last over. So Wasim Anwar, he's been held back, and Kamran Atta has realized that spin is not going to be the right approach in these last 3 overs. Umaid coming around the wicket. Yeah, that is a wide, surely. He's having a polite inquiry with the umpire. Don't really think he should, because that was a big wide. Trying to create an angle for the youngster Razel Nader. I think the plan is simple now, Umaid. He's going to bring the ball in with an angle, try to bowl it fuller, straighter onto the line of the stumps. Third man and the fine leg is R rather in the circle, having a long off, long on, deep point, deep cover. So with that kind of a feel, you can predict that surely he's not going to be bowling anything towards the leg side. A packed offside field for Umaid. Swing and a miss. That was there for the taking. Yeah, his eyes lit up when he saw that ball. It was full. It was right in his hitting arc. But unfortunately couldn't find the connection. Just trying to hit it way too hard. That's why he lost his balance and composure. Very important 28 from Razel. Still out there. He needs to stay right till the end though. Oh, that is going to be a close call. I just think by the naked eye, maybe that was below the waist. Yeah, it's been given as a legal delivery, so it's a decent over so far. How many more can they get from here onwards? Just the last 15 more deliveries. 15 deliveries, another 40 runs. Is that a bit too much to ask for? Yeah, I'm saying because Yahya Ali is still out there. Because he did go on to score 36 runs in the last 2 overs against Dubai Royals, and they won the game. So that is the only reason my demand is way too high. But realistically, 14 deliveries, at least they can get 30, which will take them to somewhere around 175, 180, and that is a fighting total because they do have the firepower in their bowling lineup. Abbas, Sher Azam, Hasnain, they're all quality bowlers. Oh, he's made a mess of it behind the stumps. In fact, it's trickling way towards the boundary. It's going to be a teaser. Oh, he's done well. Getting the big feet, or the foot rather. And it's done well to stop the boundary. It's been given as wise, rightfully so. He's due. Yahya Ali, so far he hasn't gotten much of strike. And if you ever saw our Gorilla 11 fan, you would want Yahya Ali to face the majority of the deliveries from here onwards. And that's a big shot. And it's gone a long way. That's a brilliant strike by Razel Nadir, and that's exactly what you need. They need these important runs in the latter part of the innings, and Razel yet again is providing that much needed finish for his team. It's 155 for 6. Now, this is a very interesting move. Wasim Anwar has been asked to bowl the penultimate over, and straight away he's produced a wicket. So the plan has worked in their favour. They have gone to pick up the dangerous Yahya Ali. It was expected from him, but just couldn't deliver this evening. It's 155 for 7. That's nicely done by Abbas Dawer. Where was he hiding? If ever so, you have a batter who can bat like this. Would have sent him up the order. It's impressing his teammates each and every run. They understand is so important. So he's not wasting any time. But that was a very smart stroke, because he knows Wasim is offering a bit of pace. So what he did is he just tried to shuffle across the stumps and went over to find leg fielder. He's run the first one hard. He wants the second. Yeah, he's eager to get back on strike. I think Razel should be the one who now should go on to play these majority of the deliveries remaining in this innings. Very interesting last 3 deliveries. Projected score 173. They should look to get 180. Possible. 9 deliveries, 20 runs. Not much to ask for. He's hit this straight towards the fielder. He wants a second, but there was never a 2 there. So decent over so far. Wasim, yes, he has conceded a boundary, but he's picked up a huge wicket of Yahya Ali, who could have made a vast difference in these last overs. Neatly done. Excellent improvisation by Abbas Dawar. These are very important runs now being scored. And you need to have very good eye to be executing such strokes. And he's timed it. He's got the connection. And he's gotten 4 more vital runs for his team. 165, what they've gotten. They could have easily surpassed 200. The way they were batting in the first 7 to 8 overs, they had a great opportunity to really put a mammoth target against Abu Dhabi Smashers. Nicely done. Now this too is going towards the boundary. It's going to be long chase for Zia. Eventually they will get a couple of more runs. So a perfect start for Abbas Dawar. He's getting these important runs for his team. It's 167 for 7. Last over of this innings in the all-important quarterfinal. Now that's the top edge. They want to come back for the second. In fact, they're going for it. This could be a run out. In fact, it is. Surely, yeah, the umpire has given his verdict on field. And if ever so you are a Gorilla 11 fan, this is not a good sight, because you would have wanted Razel Nadir to stay right till the end of this innings. In fact, he's been run out. So it's a good start to the over for Abu Dhabi Smashers. It's 167 for 8. In walks the number 10 batter, who's certainly no muck with the bat. He does have the tendency to strike big. He's got those long levers. He is tall, and we know how handy a bowler he is. We will be seeing him the next innings. He'll be coming out all guns blazing. Very impressive all-rounder. He's got a big job in his hands. Now, what does he do? Does he take a single, or will he look to go hard against Zia Mukhtar? He's struck this hard, but straight to the fielder. And they do get a single, which will bring somebody who's been timing the ball. He's seeing the ball well since he's walked in the middle. Already a very useful 11 for him. Can he get another 11, 12 runs for his team? 11 will take them to 180. That's a decent score. It's not a winning total on this kind of a track, but psychologically, 180, it is a score where you could certainly give your bowlers something to bowl at. It's uppish. And they're coming back for the second now. This could be another run out. Oh, Hasnani's ball watching. And Zia Mukhtar has made a mess of it. Well, that should have been a run out, but a lucky escape. That is very strange from Abbas Daur. You can see that he showed all his three stumps. Wanted to do a Steve Smith shot, which he did against Wahab Riaz. I remember one of those shots did go viral all over social media. Now Hasnain, of course, will have the privilege to really go hard on this very delivery. He's taken the pace off. They've ran the first one hard. And I think Abbas should farm the strike now and play the last delivery. They need one huge maximum, which will take them to 179. So exactly 180 would require to win. And that will be a fighting total. They've done extremely well, especially the spinners. Nadeem came in, Wasim. And of course, the pick of the bowlers was Farooq Momin. He bowled exceptionally well. He was getting a lot of turn as well. Did a fine job for his team to get back in the groove. Last delivery of the first innings. Yeah, now surely they're going to come back for the second. And in fact, I think they should be able to get it easily in the end. They do. So 175 is what they've posted. In fact, they're going for the third. It's going to be just a couple of runs to end this innings. It's a decent score, but I think the way they started, they would believe that they could have easily surpassed 210. But let's see if that's going to be enough. Exceptional bowling performance by Abu Dhabi Smashers. First quarterfinals, first innings done and dusted. Good show, of course, by Amar Badami. Played exceptionally well, and just when you would have wanted him to stay out there in the middle, lost focus and lost his wicket. Right then, we're just going to take a short little break, and once we are back, we'll be all set for the run chase. Stay tuned. Right then, we are back. First innings done and dusted. I think they will fancy their chances. Gorilla 11 should have the belief that they can go on to win this game, of course, led by Sher Azam, who's been exceptional so far in this tournament with the ball, with his leadership qualities. He's been taking some excellent decisions throughout this tournament, and I think we need to give a lot of credit to him for, of course, the win in the first game, and then so far he's made some smart rotations as well in his bowlers. But this is going to be a different challenge altogether. Big responsibility on the captain this evening. Oh, wow! What a start! Well, not to forget, this is that man who got injured in the last game and he was retired hurt, and he's come out with a bang. What a fine shot this was, and that's something which you don't really see much often. Sher Azam being pumped down the ground, and that is pure power and muscle of Zain Butt. He is a pure entertainer, and already has struck this hard down the ground. Beautifully ball, excellent delivery, just adjusting his length, bowling it slightly fuller. And Sher Azam Hashmi, we know he's got the tendency to really surprise the batters at times, does have the tendency to bring the ball in as well towards the right-handers. Of course, he's a bowler who is naturally going to take the ball away from the right-handers, but this man can certainly make the ball talk, especially the new ball. He's very effective. Smashed once again. Well, he's come out with an intent, and that is to just go hard and blast the bowling. Well, you can hear the sound of the bat. It's been pumped. And this is what he's known for. This is a terrific start. He's already put his team into a good start. Couple of boundaries to his name. He's, of course, somebody who's played a lot of cricket. He's one of the senior members for Abu Dhabi Smashers. He's somebody who adds a lot of value. He's a major asset to have in your side as Zain Butt. He's turning on the heat here in Tolerance Oval. Yeah, beautifully done. Very smart, good cricket all around. Sher Azam Hashmi just taking all the pace off. And on the other end, Zain Butt was clever enough to read the trajectory and just placing it. It's a decent start for Abu Dhabi Smashers. They need to make sure they don't lose many wickets, and that's exactly what we saw in the first innings. They did lose wickets, but at the same time, they did get a lot of runs as well. Deep square leg alongside a deep third man in position for Sher Azam Hashmi. This is high up in the air. This could be a chance, and he's put it down. It's such an important crunch game. It's a knockout game, and you do expect much better from your fielders in the deep. And Zain Butt, he survives. And he's somebody you can't really give him these chances. He will certainly make you pay. Can't drop these easy chances. I know it was there in the air for quite a while, but then again, at this level, you do expect them to hold on to it. Beautifully bowled. Some extra kick and zip off the surface. It's 10 for no loss after one. Well, the captain is out there. He's having a great tournament so far. His job is usually to get his team off to those good flying starts, and that is what he's been doing consistently throughout this tournament. Very fierce striker of the ball is Kamarata. And on the other end, Reza Nader, of course, we've seen that he's having a great run in this tournament with the bat, with the ball. This is going to be a different challenge altogether. Bowling against the senior cricketers who have played a lot of domestic matches. Of course, Reza Nader, he's young. He isn't having all that experience, but he's such a exciting prospect for the future, surely. And that is what he's proven time and time again. Of course, was judged the player of the match as well in one of the games, so he would be riding high on confidence. That's not the best of deliveries, and it's a juicy full toss, and you cannot be bowling these looseners to Zain, but he will make you pay. And his eyes lit up the moment he saw that ball coming towards him. Now, this is a perfect start for Abu Dhabi Smashers. The evening surely has gone cooler compared to what it was a couple of hours ago. It was very hot and humid. Oh, that has surely just slipped out of his hand. But they will get a couple of more runs. In fact, it will be given as a no ball as well. So 3 runs gifted alongside. It's going to be a free hit. And to make things even more worse, it's going to be Zain Butt to take strike. And if ever so they would want to defend the score, the idea has to be to go on to pick up wickets early on. But so far that hasn't been the case. It has been a struggle for Reza Nader. Oh, he wanted to blast this Zain Butt, but just trying to hit it a little too hard, losing his balance. Well, that's the way he plays. That is his role in the side. You wouldn't expect Zain Butt to come out there and really hold one end. He's not somebody who's a big fan of singles and doubles. He's a strong believer in getting a quick 5, 30, 40 for your team, a genuine match winner. And you need players like Zain Butt in your team who have so much of talent. He's got a very good positive attitude as well. That was a good delivery though, right in the block hole. Did well eventually to dig this one out, Zain Butt. There's also somebody like Hamid Khan of Dubai Royals. Of course, we've seen the damage that he's been causing. And also, Zain Butt, he got off to a flyer, not to forget, even in the last game. He got 27, if I can recall, in no time. But then, unfortunately, he was struck on his helmet. Oh, that's very close. Late appeal by Reza Nader. And I think that is what has put a doubt in the mind of the umpire. You can see that Reza Nader, his first reaction, he wasn't too sure. He didn't straight away go for the appeal. It was a very late reaction because the keeper appealed and then he too got involved. That surely will put a doubt, beg your pardon, in the mind of the umpires. So it was a close call, no doubt, that the appeal should have been loud and clear. It's a dot to close out the second over. It's 18 for no loss. Chair Azam Hashmi was a little expensive in his first over. Charging in yet again. Slightly uppish but safe. Kamalata, he wasn't in control when he was offering the shot. Nonetheless, they will come back for the second. It's been a cautious start so far. But they would want to see the back of these two batters early, because we know that both of them, they do have the tendency to really put their team on the top early in the contest. They will look to go hard. They will look to get quick runs for their team. And more often than not, we have seen that they have found a lot of success in doing so. This is a very important pair in the middle. Kamran, you will see that he will take his time, because he knows he's somebody who can really shift gears at any stage of the game. He's somebody who bats according to the situation. On the other end, Zain Butt, he too can adapt to different situations, but his role has been defined. He's been given a job, and that is to just go out and express yourself in the first 6 overs. So you need somebody like Zain Butt in your team who will get you quick runs, and he's already gotten 16. That is a glorious strike. Such incredible striking here by Kamalata. And you really need to have raw talent to be executing and playing these kind of strokes. You can see that he was slightly away from the ball, but still, I don't know how he's generated so much power, Kamalata. He's not really strong and very hugely built in stature, Kamalata. But certainly he's somebody who can pack a punch. He's got those broad forearms, that's for sure. And he's such a sweet timer of the ball, Kamalata. It was a very good shot. He knew that there was nobody patrolling towards the offside in the deep. So there was not much of risk in executing that shot. Once again, Sher Azam is struggling with his lines at the moment. That's just gifting Kamalata freebies. It's too full, no swing on offer, no protection down there in the deep. You're always asking for trouble. So it's not really looking good at the moment. That's not the start that they would have desired. Of course, they have won one game early on in the contest, have Dala Battery Gorilla 11, but just lost track in the last 3 games they've played. Unfortunately, were on the losing side. But even though, because of a very good healthy net run rate, they managed to qualify for the quarterfinals, and here they are. They're playing against an unbeaten team, Abu Dhabi Smashers, who are at the #1 spot so far in this tournament, alongside now GHK Properties as well, another unbeaten team. So those are the 2 teams who haven't registered a loss in the points table. Sher Azam surely would be under a bit of pressure, needs to adjust his line. Take outside edge, and very lucky for Kamalata, and unfortunate for Sher Azam Hashmi. On his day, that could have easily gone into the hands of the third man fielder. But just because the third man was pushed into the circle, and also you can see he's way too wide. If ever so, he was placed a little more straightish, the story would have been different. It's already an expensive over, and the captain is taking the charge. Yeah, does the right thing. That was a good delivery, and just playing a dot to close out a useful over for Abu Dhabi Smashers is 32 for no loss. Rizal will continue ball the economical first over. Beautifully done. Excellent delivery. He was right in the block hole and nothing much Zain could have done. This is already a very positive start for Abu Dhabi Smashers. And it's always really good to have your captain in good touch, in good form. Kamran Atta, every time he comes on to open the innings, we've seen that he ensures he gets off to a really good start, and he's somebody who has the knack of converting those 15-20s into big ones. He's a genuine match winner. He's having a great tournament so far. Yeah, that is not timed, not getting the desired connection. He's missed out onto this, I believe, because there was nobody patrolling towards the leg side. Yeah, he wanted to play towards the leg side, but you can see the bat did twist in his hand. Reza Nader on the other end, he's having a very impressive tournament. Hasn't really gotten much support from his bowlers. It's just, I think the four bowlers which come to my mind who have been very impressive. It's Abbas Davar, Reza Nader, Sher Azam Hashmi and Hassan Hasnain. These four are your trump card bowlers. He wanted to send this into the orbit, Zain Butt. When Zain Butt hits, it will stay hit. He's somebody who's very strong. You can see that he's very huge in stature, Zain Butt. Yeah, he's one of those guys you would never want to mess with. But yeah, he's very jolly and a very humble character. Off the field, it's always very wonderful to have a chat with him. Such a polite and a generous human being is Zain Butt. Every time you come to this part of the city, the hospitality he's shown is something really we have loved. And he's somebody who really enjoys his cricket. He missed out a few games, but then now this is a very important game, so you need Zain Butt back in the team, and here he is. It's really good to see him back in the field, because the way he was struck onto the helmet in the last game, I mean, that wasn't the best of sights. He was in a bit of pain and he was retired hurt. But here he is again. He's back in the field. He's a champion. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. And he's certainly a huge asset to have in your team. No problems whatsoever with the required run rate. They're going along neck to neck. On the other end, Reza Nader, the way he's bowling, I think he should be given another over. No point holding him back. Also, Abbas should be introduced early into the attack. We've seen how well the spinners bowled in the first innings, of course. The lights of Nadeem. Well, we'll continue the chart after this over. 34 for no loss. Well, they haven't really gone all out or ran away with the show. They need wickets. What a fine shot this is by Kamlata. Now these youngsters, they need to learn one thing very quickly, that he is somebody who is very strong towards the offside. And the captain Sher Azam Hashmi, who's done so well so far in this tournament, is missing a big trick here. couple of things to add. One, he shouldn't be bowling in those areas, and if ever so he wants to bowl it in his favorite areas, at least have a field in the deep. There's still nobody protecting towards the offside, and now, yeah, you can see they're having a conversation. But having a long on and a deep mid wicket, and he's bowling it towards the offside, and that too way too full. So somebody just needs to maybe speak to the captain himself and ask him. Might as well have a deep cover in position, and then yeah, you're free to bowl in those areas. Then if you're struck for a boundary in those areas, that's completely okay because you're bowling according to your field. But as I can see that there is no change in the field. Still no protection in the offside in the deep. And there you go. The result is the same. Yeah, somebody needs to have a word with the Sher Azam Hashmi. I mean, these are basic errors that they're making. You need to push one fielder in that area. That's his favorite area. I'm sure they've seen a lot of Kamran Atta. So even if you bowl full, even if you bowl short, he has got such raw talent that he will read the length way too early and he will smash you. He'll pick your variation, even though if you bowl those back of the hand deliveries, you go for the variation. He'll read the length so early, and even though he will manage to smash you. Same field again for Sher. Oh, very lucky. He could have chopped back onto the stumps. But fortune favouring the brave at the moment. So that's the third boundary on the trot. Yeah, again bowling in towards the offside channel, but this time Kamran Atta wanted to play a bit more straighter. So 12 runs already. It's a really good fiery start already. Aditya Shetty, one of the senior members, constantly having a word with the Sher Azam Hashmi. Yeah, that's much better. Going a bit more fuller, but maybe he can surprise the batter. Get that long on in the circle, because Sher Azam, he has raw pace. So when you know that you can clock somewhere around 125 kilometers per hour, might as well have a deep square, a deep mid wicket, push them back, get the long on in the circle, and try your luck, because Kamran Atta hasn't been tested so far with the short deliveries. You need to surprise the batters. You need to come up with something different, because so far bowling it towards his favorite areas, having no protection in the deep towards the offside, hasn't worked in their favour. Yeah, he's going to hit you there all day long. That was marginally once again towards the offside, and he's now toying with this field. Look at this. He's manufactured a shot. He could have easily struck this even down the ground, because he's so strong in those areas. You can see that somehow he managed to open the face of the bat and maneuver the ball towards the offside, and again get a boundary in the same area. Aditya, he's having a long conversation with him, but I don't know what conversation he's having, but he's not telling his captain to have protection in the offside, because he's been smashing you consistently towards the offside. And I mean, I've been praising these kids a lot, but these are basic errors. They play so much cricket, and you expect better from them. That's a good delivery, good finish to the over. But he's been expensive overall, Sher Azam Hashmi. It's 50 for no loss after 5. Raisel will continue, rightfully so. He's been very economical so far with the new ball. And he's not really allowed Zen but to get underneath the ball, but somehow he's managed to dig this one out and also place it for a couple of runs. So it's a really good start for Abu Dhabi Smashers. No surprises. Zain Butt and Kamrata have come out to open. Last over, it was a big one. I don't think so we're going to see the captain bowling another over anytime sooner. I think it has to be now Abbas and Hasnain. They need to get into the act right now. You need to give them some runs to work with. This is once again timed, but I don't really think the ball will have enough legs. But we'll get another couple of runs. So another useful 21 runs from Zain Butt. Can see a bit of cat and mouse going on out there between these two. Raisel, he's not really allowing Zain Butt to come underneath the ball. Maybe, no, in fact, I was about to say maybe he can come 2 steps ahead from his popping crease, Zain Butt, but I just saw the keeper is on to the stump, so yeah, he needs to stand where he is. Oh, he's been knocked over. Some very disciplined bowling finally gets Raisel Nadir his first wicket, and he's been rewarded with a big one, and that is the wicket of Zain Butt. The destructive right-handed batter will have to go back after showing a lot of promise. It's 54 for 1. Well, here comes the wall for Abu Dhabi Smashers. Somebody who is really difficult to get rid of early on. Yasin Rai, technically one of the most correct batters we have in the domestic circuit, is now arrived at the crease. There you go, straight away getting it, his front foot forward, and straight away gets off the mark with a single. But this has been a very impressive little spell by Raisel Nadir yet again. It's not that he's performing in this single game. He's been consistently getting wickets, and he's also been very economical with the new ball. And it's not easy to keep quiet, to make these batters quiet for quite a long time. Yeah, trying to go for a big hit and just playing it away from his body was Kamran Atta. Very confident captain. He did mention during the toss that they're not going to take this game easy at all. They know that they're playing against a very talented team, somebody who's defeated Dubai Royals early on in this tournament, and they're one team to look out for. So they came all guns blazing. They ensured that they don't give any kind of chances to these youngsters. Well, this is high up in the air, but I think it has surpassed the fielder now. Imagine if there was a deep cover in position. That would have straight gone into the hands of the fielder. End of the power play is 57 for 1. to no surprises, straight away Abbas Dawer, he's been introduced into the attack. Yeah, you don't want to be holding him for way too long. He's one of their backbones, right arm wrist spinner. He's made a serious impact in this tournament with the ball. And we already did see in the first innings where Farooq Mohammad, another right arm wrist spinner, he created havoc in the middle. He was so economical. He was getting turn and a lot of help from the surface. So Abbas Dawer maybe can take a leaf out of the notebook of the senior member Farooq Mohammad, who is of course a UAE international cricketer. The lengths have been very accurate. He knows where the right channels are, Abbas Dawer, but he needs to just play around with his pace and variations. Needs to stick with his length. Don't bowl all that full. Yeah, that's a perfect length. And that is what he's been doing throughout this tournament. He doesn't really allow the batters to come underneath the ball. Those lengths are very tight, teasing, nagging lengths where you are not too sure whether to go down the ground or to cut the ball. That's kept a bit low, but Kamran Atta was equal to the task. Just because Abbas, he's banged it slightly shorter, it gave a lot of time and room to Kamran Atta. And he did read the ball. It was low, but he too went low onto it and gets a boundary to his name. So he's pretty much close to be getting another half century, which will be a deserved one. Playing a captain's knock, of course, was very smart early on in the first innings with his leadership qualities. Now he knows that this is a big job. He needs to take his team over the line. On the other end, Gorilla 11, they need to have the belief in themselves. We've seen funny things happen in this tournament. All they have to do is just keep fighting each and every delivery. I don't want these boys to drop in the middle. We've seen required. It's a long way to go. Yeah, dot balls will help the cause. Excellent over by Abbas, 63 for 1. Well, this is one man, Hasnain Hassan, who can really change the complexion of the game. He's been mighty impressive throughout this tournament. There he is. He's tall. He's got all the ingredients to be a fine right-arm fast bowler. He's got a big job in his hands. He knows this is a huge game for them. They've somehow qualified for the quarterfinals, and they're playing against the top team in this tournament so far, who are yet to be beaten. So they'll need to come out all guns blazing. Abbas and Hasnain, of course, they will bowl in tandem. So if ever so you're not picking wickets, at least ensure you don't go for runs on the other end. Honestly, if I'm the captain of Gorilla 11, I wouldn't mind the way Kamran Atta is batting. I would want him to take these chances. Oh, that is not the best of starts by Hasnain. Too short and drifting down the leg side, asking for trouble. Can't be bowling in those areas to Kamran. Yeah, easy pickings Fine leg in the circle. Just get some bat on it and get 4 runs. The problem has been that they've not bowled according to their field. Now, having the fine leg in the circle, having the deep square leg in the circle, there's only one fielder towards the leg side, which is the deep mid wicket, and that too he's standing towards the cow corner. So why bowl a short delivery? It's been nicely played. Yahya Ali is a gun fielder. So that has been one of the area of concerns in this game. I mean, I've been praising a lot about this team, about how well did these guys have batted. They've got some quality bowlers in their lineup. Now I've picked each and every single bowler and I've highlighted how well they have gone in this tournament. But today, they've made some basic errors. Slightly uppish, no protection, bowling in his favorite area, it's a boundary. Yeah, you can now sense that the energy level as well is going down, and you do expect much better from this team. Yeah, that was again a loosener. 2 full, it was a half volley. Kamranata, you feed him there all day long, he's going to smash you every single time you bowl in those areas. So Hasnain is now under pressure. No, he's gotten away with this. Should consider himself lucky. Hasnain again, it was drifting down the leg side. So yeah, they're having a deep third man in position, which I believe is not required, because Hasnain Hassan, he's somebody who relies more on his variations. He's got a lovely cutter, lovely back of the hand delivery as well. Oh, beautifully bowled. That's a top class delivery. Yeah, he's getting praise from Kamran Atta as well. He's by far one of the most senior cricketers we have in the domestic arena. So if he's acknowledged that, it means you've done a fine job. That was a lovely delivery. I mean, this is what he does. This is the way he can bowl. I don't understand why does he at times just get a little carried away and bowl these looseners. There, perfect. That's exactly what he needs to do. And I think there will be a time he will find success soon in this contest. It's 73 for 1. Abbas bowled a lovely first over. I think you need to take his chances, Abbas now, because what's going to happen if he bowls with the pace onto the ball? They're just going to maneuver him for singles and doubles and see off his overs. Now, he's the trump card. He's the genuine wicket taker. Oh, brilliant. That is nicely done. Depth touch. But Hasnain does well to keep it to 2. 50 up for Kamran Atta. I don't think so he's realised. But what a fine knock by the captain himself. Really taking his team off to a blistering start. No real celebration, because I don't think so he's realised. Maybe the next delivery somebody can just inform him. Skips, you've already got into 50. Yeah, I think now they've realised that he has got into his 50, and yeah, there you go. No real celebration, because he knows the job is half done. There's the man on your screen who's stolen the limelight in this tournament with his batting abilities. Oh, very close, playing across the line and beaten all ends up. Well, still they need 100 more runs. Couple of wickets. couple of wickets is what they need. That's it. And there will be a match in our hands. Surely. This team usually doesn't give up so early. But I did see them a little lethargic in the last 2 to 3 overs. The drinks break after the 10 overs, that's so important. The coaching staff, the management, everybody needs to get involved. They need to be in the ground and make this team believe that we still do have a serious chance to win this game. There's a lot of runs to be scored. And it's a wicket where the ball is now keeping a little low as well. So they just need wickets, and then Abu Dhabi Smashers honestly haven't been tested all that much in this tournament. And it will be Abu Dhabi Smashers who would be under immense pressure if they go on to lose a couple of wickets in the next 2 to 3 overs. Good over once again by Abbas. It's 78 for 1. Still opting to have the same field set up, just one fielder towards the deep region on the offside and only one fielder towards the leg side. So if ever so Hasnain goes on to bowl a good over, he will continue, but otherwise we might just see Aditya Shetty also getting into the act. There's no due as of sorts, so he's somebody who will enjoy his outing on this wicket. Prithvi too can bowl, I believe, so the captain needs to keep his options open. At the moment, the match is in the hands of Abu Dhabi Smashers, but it could turn in a jiffy if ever so. They pick up 2 wickets and we have a couple of quiet overs. You will see how quickly the required run rate will creep up. Yayin Rai, he hasn't really gotten much of strike so far, but his job becomes much simpler at this stage. He knows how much they're chasing. He knows it's his captain who's looking to take the charge, and so far he has found a lot of success in hitting those big shots. 53 in just 32 for the captain. So all Yayin needs to do is ensure he holds one end and keeps giving strike to his captain. This has been slashed away, and I think it's gone all the way as well. Yeah, that is a tremendous shot once again by Kamlata. Beautifully slashed, and this is pure power. This is not an easy shot once again. It's more like a four-handed tennis shot that he's opted to play. Gets another maximum. False start for Hasnain. We'll have to go back and reload. But yeah, I mean, I did mention early on they've made some major blunders in their field setup. Yeah, I know they're young, they're inexperienced, but then again, they're smart. That I know. So you do expect much better on regards to the field setup that they should keep for these batters. Again, feeding in his favorite area and same result. And this time he's got plenty of bat on this one. It's gone for a huge maximum. Nothing seems to be working in the favor now. They seem to be in a hurry. Required run rate is now come down to 8 runs per over. He's taking the game away from Gorilla 11. It's not that they haven't bowled all that badly. It's just the field that they've said. That is something really they need to look upon. Surely they'll have a long conversation in this meeting during the drinks break. It's 92 for 1. Well, surely they would have had a long discussion as to how to go about in this last passage of play. Prithvi Rao, the new bowler introduced into the attack. Maybe he could have bowled from the pavilion end and Abbas could have continued. So maybe could be a change of ends for Abbas. Might be brought in from the pavilion end in the next over, because he was bowling exceptionally well. So without taking any kind of risks, I think they should be home if ever so. They don't throw away their wickets. So far the match is pretty much in their control, in their hands. They don't have to do anything silly. This is a perfect start in the first passage of the second innings. 93, just one wicket that they've lost. Beautifully done. It's gone very deep to his crease. Because if ever so they go on to play another 7 to 8 overs, I think so they will be home. Nothing much happening now that the lights have fully taken effect here in Tolerance Oval, Abu Dhabi. The wicket has gotten much better. There was some help and assistance early on because I did mention the wicket was watered overnight, so there was a lot of assistance for especially Farooq Momin, the right arm spinner, and he used this wicket to his advantage. I mean, he ensured each and every delivery he bowls, he made it count. He was very miser, hardly did he give any runs, and of course picked a lot of wickets as well. So he's a strong contender to be getting the player of the match if ever so they're going to win this game. That's the first condition. That's too short. It's been placed for only a single. Good over by Prithvi. Just the 4 runs is given. 96 for 1. Well, as predicted, so just the change of ends for Abbas Dawar. Let's see if he can get any kind of purchase from this end. He was getting a slight bit of turn on offer. Nobody towards the fine leg, by the way. There's no protection. They've moved the fine leg fielder towards the short mid. So he needs to be very accurate here, Abbas Dawar. Anything marginally towards the leg side, I think both the batters, who are very strong sweepers of the ball, even you will see them sweep towards the fine leg. Not very happy with the stick in his hand at the moment. Yainkin Rai is going to be a change of bats. Yeah, nicely bowled. That's exactly where you would want to bowl. Abbas Dawar is one of their genuine wicket takers. Oh, that has struck him really hard. He seems to be in a lot of pain. He's a strong man though. Will look to continue. Still 79 runs needed. The only problem is that they haven't managed to get a lot of wickets. Just that one wicket is what they've gotten off Zain, but he too got off to a good start, gave good runs to his team. And that is a very good shot by Yainkin Rai. He picked up the length so early, but just couldn't time it. Maybe got the bottom of his bat. Yeah, he's just having a look at the bottom of his bat. Kamranata, that is the wicket they need. If ever so they do have any kind of chance to win this game. Oh, this one did keep low. Now Abbas Dawar, what he needs to do is ensure he keeps all the deliveries onto the line of the stumps. He's somebody that we have seen. He has a lot of control. He's accurate. So the consistency is what is required at this stage. So what his objective will be, he needs to target the stumps because the ball is keeping low. That is an outrageous hit. Sublime touch by Yainkin Rai. Very pleasing to the eye when he gets going. Yeah, Bas Tower, I did mention that he needs to target the stumps, but that wasn't the case. A half volley, a hit me delivery, and look at the composure and the balance whilst he executed the shot to get 4 runs to his name. Oh, he's knocked him over. And that's the reason I was mentioning he needs to be onto the stumps, because the ball is keeping low. That's exactly what's happened. Look at the ball, how low has this kept, and that is what has deceived Yain Rai. Why didn't he do that earlier? But eventually gets a breakthrough, and that is the wicket they were after. It's 103 for 2. Finally, they have managed to disengage this partnership. And we know that Kamarathai is somebody who really creates room. So even Prithvi now can look to target the stumps because the ball is keeping slightly low. That's a big shot. And how far has this gone? It's straight into the hands of the fielder. They've picked Kamarathai as well. Back-to-back wickets. And now, do we have a twist in the tail? Well, they were motoring and cruising along. They first picked up a huge wicket of Yain Kirra, and now they've picked up the most important wicket of Kamarathai, the captain. The moment he struck, he knew he is in some serious trouble. And a very good fine catch in the deep. No mistakes have been made. That is a massive moment in the game. Look at him go. He knows the importance of this wicket. Dial a battery, Gorilla 11 are back in this contest. It's 103 for 3. Right then, they were 103 for 1 and now they're 103 for 3. They've lost both the set batters, and guess what? Now the two batters, they have not even played a single delivery. Now this is the chance where they should believe they've got a very big chance to get close and defend these runs. Required run rate is now going to almost 10 runs per over. We have a game in our hands. Slip in position for Wasim. Straight away gets off the mark. Now he's the one who took his team out of trouble even in the last game, Wasim Anwar. He's a fine talent. He was the player of the match, of course, in the last game. So again, his services are certainly required on the other end. This is the reason I keep on praising this young side, because they're fighters, and certainly they had a long conversation during the drinks break. I could sense that there was a spring in their stride, and there was that positive intent once again rising for the youngsters. Excellent. This is really good field setup by Sher Azam. So if ever so there was a fine leg fielder, this would have been a single. But because they've removed the fine leg and have placed him towards the short mid where Sher Azam is standing, it denied the single. This is really smart cricket. Oh, that should have been stopped, really. Yeah, this is very clever by Prithvi and of course Sher Azam, the captain. But my oh my, I just have a feeling now this 2 is going to go down to the last over of this contest. There's a lot of chirping going out there. They're trying to get onto the nerves of the batter. And why not? Yeah, you need to play these mind games. Can't just go out there and just keep on bowling. You need to have that aggressive intent. Aggression is required at the moment by these youngsters. They are young and they're raring to go. They want to create a major upset in this tournament, because Abu Dhabi Smashers, as I did say, they are the only team who are yet to be beaten alongside GSK Properties as well. So these are the two teams who have not tasted loss in this tournament. These 70 runs, they're not going to be easy, I can tell you, because you can now sense these boys are really coming hard. Excellent delivery. Another dot. What a terrific over, Prithvi Rao. He's got his team back into this game. It's 106 for 3. From being 103 for 1, they were 103 for 3. Abbas Davar, he needs to pick up another wicket. Just perfect delivery, and this is where he needs to be. I mean, I understand Abbas Davar, he could be economical in this over, even if he bowls a maiden, be it. But then what I want from him, he needs to pick up a wicket. There's 2 new batters. Don't waste any delivery by bowling it away from the stumps. He is that kind of a bowler. Of course, he has a lot of control. So that is not an excuse that he's not going to be bowling at least 4 more deliveries right onto the stumps out of these 5 deliveries that he's going to bowl. Yeah, perfect. That's good. He's targeting the stumps. This is going to be a couple of runs. In fact, he's done exceptionally well in the deep. So just a single. Yeah, there is now some tension and some nerves. This team hasn't been tested yet, but these youngsters, they can sense they've got a great opportunity to clinch victory in the quarterfinals. Oh, not good. Really, you need to stop these runs. What was supposed to be a dot has converted into 4 byes. I feel for Abbas Davar. I'm not too sure if they do have communication between each other. Did he tell the keeper that I'm going to bowl a googly? Yeah, it was a googly. But clearly the way he approached towards the ball, the keeper, it just gave an indication. He didn't know which way it's going to turn. Lovely delivery. Pressure building on Abu Dhabi Smashers. They were cruising along. Still long way to go. 64 runs needed. Abbas, can he bowl one onto the stumps and a bit fuller? Yeah, he does so. Wasim is now just batting a bit more sensibly, realizing he did try to go for a big shot couple of times, and both of the times not getting lucky by finding any kind of connection. So just one more delivery and Anil should just ensure he plays it and blocks it. Rather, he's cut this away very nicely. It's going to be a long chase, and he does extremely well. But I think they look to come back for the third. Oh, in fact, excellent bit of fielding. He's denied the third. Also saved a boundary. So brilliant spell yet again by Abbas Dawar. He's done for this evening. It's 115 for 3. We surely have a game on. Just to remind our viewers, this is the first quarter-final. It's a knockout game. A team who wasn't even sure that they will qualify for the next round, which is Dialer Battery Gorilla 11. Until yesterday, they weren't sure if they've qualified. And from the word go, Abu Dhabi Smashers, they were always in to qualify for the next round because they've won 4 out of 4. A team who has not been tested yet, and now they find themselves at a position where they need 60 with 2 new batters at the crease. This is a big responsibility and a job for Anil Palekar alongside Wasim Anwar, who of course was the player of the match in the last game, so he will be walking in with a lot of confidence. So what they're doing is ensuring that they don't play a lot of dot deliveries, looking to pick up singles and doubles. On the other end, Wasim Anwar, he did show a bit of... But it's not going to be easy against Prithvi Rao because he's going to take the ball away from him. And he's been playing across the line as well. So the bold and the LBW could certainly come into equation. He's played it towards fine leg. This could be a boundary. Does exceptionally well. Excellent throw as well to keep it for only a single. And I'm telling you, each and every single as well will put pressure on Abu Dhabi Smashers. The lengthier the game becomes, and if they don't get boundaries, there will be some pressure. Smashed hard towards the deeper wicket. Gets an important boundary, Anil. Just easing the pressure which was building out there in the center. He's nicely clubbed it. He's gone way too deep, using his crease to his advantage, and has gotten an important boundary, which was turning out to be a quiet over. It's now converted into 7. There's still a couple of more deliveries to go. 54 needed. Oh, these are the little moments in the game. We did see even in the last over, 4 byes were conceded, so that's one. And then even now, this single given by Prithvi Rao, that should have been stopped. This is where they need to be on the each and every single run if they would want to create this upset and beat the mighty Abu Dhabi Smashers in the first quarterfinals. Yeah, another ordinary delivery, and I think he considered himself very lucky, because if Wasim would have connected this would have surely gone towards the boundary. Yeah, another useful run for Abu Dhabi Smashers. That's a big shot, and he's got a clean connection, Wasim Anwar. He's now breaking the shackles and releasing tension which was mounting on Abu Dhabi Smashers. But Wasim Anwar, that is the Wasim we know. He's been trying his luck for quite a while now, but on that occasion he's got a decent connection, gets 6 valuable runs, taking pressure off his team. It's 130 for 3. The last over surely has eased a bit of tension. Surprising, Aditya Shetty hasn't bowled so far. He's another very handy right arm wrist spinner. Maybe he could have been one of the options to come and bowl at this stage. But yeah, it's a very tricky situation. But this is really good to see. The captain himself, he's taking the charge and he's taking the responsibility on his shoulders. He's the one who's now opting to come to get rid of either of these two batters and disengage this partnership. Oh, perfect Yorker. Nice start here by Sher Azam. Right on the money. But yeah, this is a good little fight by Dial Battery Gorilla 11. Then, as I did mention, that they've given quite a few freebies to these batters. Also, they've given 7 extras. That's something which you cannot afford, especially when you got those 2 batters out, Yai and Kiran Rai, and then Kamran Azad. Those were 2 very big wickets. And they needed 70 odd runs. They were 103 for 3. And now this is a good little partnership stitched between Wasim and Anil. Oh, it's been given as a wide. That was a very close call. An umpire thinks otherwise and he's called this as 1 extra for the over. So now once again the pendulum has shifted into the favor of Abu Dhabi Smashers. 44 and 29 on this surface, with the spinners being done and dusted. Prithvi has 1 more over though. Abbas is done for the evening. Yeah, that was a perfect Yorker. Excellent delivery yet again. Just need to ensure they take this game deep. Try to go into the last over and then see what they can do. Really wouldn't want this game to finish early. I would want Gorilla 11 to fight right till the end. That's what they've been doing so far in this tournament. But a few basic errors today. If ever so they would have controlled those errors, I think the story would have been different. Dealing in singles at the moment. Wasim Anwar, he's an impact player for Abu Dhabi Smashers. With the ball, he will come on with the bat and really take the game away from you. But Abbas Dabar was making life pretty difficult for Wasim Anwar. So far so good. Sher Azam, he's done a decent job. Yeah, another very good delivery. Just a single. Single is not going to be a problem for Tyler Battery Gorilla 11. Anil and Wasim Anwar, they're now doing a decent job for the team. They were under a bit of pressure as they walked in the middle where two set batters were out. It's been cut away. They do have protection in the deep. Now this is a good field. They've got a deep point and a deep cover. Now Sher Azam can keep on bowling towards those areas. So this is good stuff. Yeah, if ever so they would have realized early on in this innings, I think the equation would have been quite different. Which is now 40 in 25. One more wicket. And you do expect a few dot deliveries. Crashed, but straight to the fielder. Dot delivery. That's a very good over by the captain Shiraz Hashmi, and he too is done for the evening. It's 136 for 3. Hasnain was a little expensive in his second over, but the captain is a premier bowlers and he's reintroduced him into the attack. And he's knocked him over! What a start for the youngster. Hasnain Hassan strikes and gets his team back into the game. It's a big moment because Anil, he was batting beautifully until Hasnain has breached the defenses and has cleaned him up. What a terrific delivery, and that is one reason I kept on praising this young man, because he has some serious potential. And what a start to this over. Picks up a wicket. It's 136 for 4. Well, this is where I believe now things will get even more interesting, because Ghulam Murtaza is somebody who can finish off the game in no time. He's a power hitter and that is his role. It's a challenge for Hasnain Hassan, steaming in once again. Bowls well. Nicely. Watchfully just places it towards the cow corner for a six. Gets off the mark. But this is some fight back by these youngsters. The first passage of innings, the first 10 overs, they were pretty much down and out. They were at the back foot. But then, all of a sudden, there was a spring in the stride, and these men are certainly back in this contest. And now turning on the heat, 39 required. Slashed away. There is protection though. Should be only a single. Brilliant. Excellent beat of fielding down there in the deep. Yeah, they need to just ensure they take this game as deep as they can. Oh, what brilliant captaincy once again by Sher Azam, of course. It was a very tricky situation because Prithvi Rao, he was expensive in his third over, so he had to back someone, and he backed himself. He came into ball. Oh, that is a loose delivery. And they're looking at the umpire as well. I mean, we have to wait for the signal. Has that been given as a no ball? Because if it has been, that is very unfortunate for Gorilla 11. Still waiting for the signal. Not too sure. 37 is what is needed. Where he slaps it down the ground. No real power behind it. Only a single is what he's got, and this is an excellent over by Hasnain Hassan. He's picked up a wicket on the very first delivery, and he has not conceded a boundary. Just the 4 runs now. This is a big ball loading. He needs to have the belief he can bowl full straight right in the block hole onto his toes. This is clobbered. It's high up in the air. It's gone for a maximum. What have you done, Hasnain? You were bowling so well, and you just ball it in his hitting arc. It's right in the slot, and whack he goes. Ghulam Murtaza, known as Wattu, he's whacked this out of the park, just releasing some tension. These were very important 6 runs he's got, and it's 146 for 4. Well, how important was that 6 from Ghulam Murtaza? And this is exactly what I said when he walked out in the middle. He's somebody who can really finish off the game in no time. That is what he's been doing consistently throughout his career. Reza Ladher, who's been by far the pick of the bowlers in this contest, is going to be bowling the 18th over. Should be only a single. This is a good start. Single isn't really going to harm Gorilla 11. This is such an important over. You do have 1 over of Hasnain Davar. Just going to have a quick check as to what bowling options he has. Of course, first condition is that Reza needs to bowl exceptionally well in this first over. So those last 2 overs make a difference, and those 2 overs do count. So Reza is going to be done and dusted. Abbas is done. Sher Azam has bowled out. Hasnain surely will be bowling the penultimate over. So who is going to be bowling that last over? That is the question. But I think Sher Azam, he's a smart and a clever captain. I don't think so he's going to be thinking of the last over now. He will be thinking to save runs in this over. And of course, Hasnain, he needs to be right on the money in the penultimate over. And then they can see how many they need in the last over. But take the game deep. Go into that last over. Dot delivery. Each and every dot delivery is going to create immense pressure on Abu Dhabi Smashes. He is such a smart and a clever operator, isn't he? He knows that Ghulam Murtaza, he's going to go after him. So what he's done, he's not offered him any pace whatsoever to work with. He's taken all the pace off, rolled his fingers over, and made him work for his money. Charging it once again. Strikes it hard down the ground. Straight to the fielder. This is a great start to the over by Reza Nadir. just have the belief. The young boys, they can win this game out of nowhere. And I did mention until yesterday they weren't even sure as to if they have qualified for the quarterfinals or not. And now they're finding themselves in a situation where the opponents need quite a few runs. 28 still needed. 3 very important deliveries coming up in this over. It's a big shot. It's gone aerial. And it's gone for a maximum. Wasim Anwar. He's certainly bringing his team right back into this game. That was a very important hit. A sigh of relief for him, for his team, for his management. And there was a loud cheer in the dugout because they know the importance and the value of this maximum struck by Wasim Anwar. He was the player of the match in the last game, and he is once again the man who's taking the charge and the responsibility to take his team over the line. Yeah, there he is. Very confident. No pressure of any sorts. And he's now getting closer to this target. 22 required in the last 14. Hits it hard. Straight to the fielder. Only a single. Now, surely Ghulam Murtaza will throw the kitchen sink at this delivery. He will swing his bat really hard and he will try to get a maximum. So the equation comes down to 15 in the last 2 overs. This is such an important delivery. Can Reza Nadir just hold his nerves and bowl one good delivery? I think pace off should be the right option. Don't give any pace to Ghulam Murtaza. Let him use his force and his power. This is high up in the air. It's gone for a maximum. That's what they needed. I just mentioned, don't give pace to this man, and that's exactly what the young boy has done. He's bowled it short, and he's been clubbed for a huge maximum. 15 runs required in the last 2 overs. Hasnain, big job in his hands. Can he be the hero of his team? It's hard. They've ran the first one hard, and I think they should be able to come back for the second easily eventually. Yeah, now things are much simpler for Abu Dhabi Smashers. There was a lot of tension and nerves in the centre when they lost Yayin Rai and Kamran Atta, but the man on your screen, Wasim Anwar, he stood tall, he showed a lot of maturity and has fought this battle hard. What a way it's been dismissed from his presence. They're now running away with the show, and he's made this encounter now pretty much one-sided. Yeah, clubbed away. Very nice hit. Wasim Anwar, he's a strong bloke, and he's made this ball disappear into the deserts. But yeah, hats off, really. I mean, they've bowled exceptionally well. They've fought this battle hard. Just as I said, they made quite a few basic errors. They're a very exciting unit, and they're still learning. And surely they will grow over the years. So just 7 is what is needed, and they've got plenty of deliveries to achieve so. Yeah, finally, they have somehow retrieved the ball because that went a very long way. I think Wasim Anwar now seems to be in a hurry, would want to finish this game off quickly. It should be a wide, in fact, it is. So they're just one big hit away to clinch a victory here in the first quarterfinal. But what a fantastic game have we seen. I understand what Hasnain was on about. He's just having a polite, he was rather having a polite inquiry with the umpire as he did shuffle, but then again it was way too wide. So yeah, I think it was a good call. Pulled away, it's in the air, another maximum, and that's it. What a way to seal the deal for his team and to qualify and cement this spot in the next round, which is the semi-finals. And another huge hit by Wasim Anwar. What a game of cricket did we witness, and I think they should go out with a lot of pride, young side of Gorilla 11. And that's how the innings have panned out. Good start by the two openers, 69 for Kamran, a match-winning innings, and then in the end, Wasim and Ghulam taking their team over the line. Yeah, impressive bowling yet again by Abbas Dawar. Picked up a wicket. Hasnain, yeah, he was expensive in his last over. Prithvi did well, pick up a wicket, and 9 extras is what they've given. Yeah, first quarterfinals done and dusted. 175 is what they've scored. Sumer Zawari and Amar Badami giving a good start. Farooq Momin, the star, picked up 3 wickets. In reply, Abu Dhabi Smashers, there was a bit of a stutter, but have in fact managed to chase it down in 18.3 and have clinched victory by 6 wickets. We'll just take a short little break, and once we are back, we'll be all set for the post-match presentation. Stay tuned. Welcome to the post-night presentation of UPRO Summer Cup Pro Edition 2026. It was the first quarter-final where Gorilla 11 winning the toss, batting first and scoring 175 in the allotted 20 overs. In reply, Abu Dhabi Smashers chasing it down in 18.3 overs and have clinched victory by 6 wickets. It's now time to invite our match official, Mr. Preetham, to please hand over the player of the match, and it has to go to none other than the captain himself of Abu Dhabi Smashers, Kamran Atta. What a magnificent hand with the bat yet again. 69 in just 41 deliveries, 10 fours and 2 sixes to his name. Exceptional performance. मुबारक हो कामरान अता. सबसे पहले तो ये बताएं कि ऑब्वियसली इतनी ज़बरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस और क्वालिफाई भी कर गए हैं, कैसा लग रहा है?
जी ऑब्वियसली काफ़ी प्राउड फील कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि हमारी टीम है, आपको पता है क्वार्टर फाइनल नॉकआउट स्टेज है, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह पूरी टीम अच्छा खेली है और हम लोग जीते हैं और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सेमीफाइनल के लिए क्वालिफाई किया है.
मैच का एक स्टेज ऐसा
नहीं, हमारे पीछे बैट्समैन पड़े थे. नदीम पड़ा था, आपको पता है गुलाम मुर्तज़ा वन ऑफ द बेस्ट हिटर है जो आपको पता है, तो मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस था कि ये हमारे लड़के कर लेंगे.
आखिरी सवाल कामरान, ये प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच किसी को डेडिकेट करना चाहेंगे आप?
एज यूजुअल.
You all the best for the semi-finals.
थैंक यू.
Well, that was Kamran Atta, the captain himself, with his heroics with the bat. We're done and dusted with the first quarterfinals. There's another quarterfinal lined up for you. Until then, stay tuned.